All right. Ladies and gents, we are live. Welcome back. Welcome back here to another live stream. We're actually live immediately on the breakout. Which, wow, that is a huge breakout. That is definitely turning into something right now. Welcome on into the live stream, everyone. Welcome. Just getting this thing set up here. All right. Welcome in, ladies and gents. How are we all doing? It's pretty recent. We just did our last stream here, but here we go. Look at Bitcoin here on the DGen cam. That's the 1 minute time frame. $115,000 right now. Look at that. Ladies and gents, as you are coming in, smash up those likes. Just getting this live stream, probably was just watching the previous live stream. Here we go, Bart. Welcome into the new one. Treadmill live stream. Yes, sir. I think it's broken. I think I'm worried I might fall over on stream, but fuck it. It'll be alright. I might have broken the fucking treadmill, bro. I don't even know how that's possible. But welcome into the stream, everyone. Bitcoin sitting at 114,700. It just hit 115,500, and it is now trending down a little bit right here. It's not even a trend, really, is it? It's just having a whiplash reaction. Huge volume coming in on this chart. Let me find out how to display that. Look at that volume right there coming in on this chart here. But Bitcoin just kind of battling some of these levels right here. It seems to have another little bit of resistance. If we zoom out and kind of take a closer look at exactly what this is, it seems that Bitcoin is finding resistance, yeah, on some of these wicks. Yeah, this level makes sense. I mean, you know, it's a very weak level. I don't think it's going to be much of a problem, but we'll keep on watching this. Welcome on to the stream, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. Smash up those likes as you are coming in, ladies and gents. It is a pleasure to be here today. Yeah, Lil Bro's getting banned. Welcome into the stream, everyone. Yeah, $114,600. It's fighting right now. It is fighting right now. What's up, Ryan? What's going on? Welcome, Hajim. Ricardo, 𝐂𝐷, Jacob. What's up? Welcome, everyone. Ladies and gents, as you are coming in, smash up those likes. Let's get YouTube to push out those notifications, especially now that we have actually had a real breakout. Look at that. I said this on the last stream. Those of you that were here, let me know if you were here for my last stream. I said this on the last stream. I was like, it looks like it might break out in the next couple of hours. So that's pretty cool. Good evening from the Netherlands. What's up, dude? Yeah, it's definitely pulling back right now. It definitely didn't get, you know, the pump that we wanted. But I mean, it's literally only been like a minute or two since the pump started. I mean, this is kind of what Bitcoin's been dealing with right here. This is how we got here. So I don't even know what this line is. I'm going to remove this line because the only lines I had or should have had was here. So we did still get a really big breakout. I mean, we were live like here. That was the last live stream just a couple of hours ago. So, you know, it's definitely still quite a substantial breakout, continuing on higher. There we go, back above 115k right there. Let's zoom in onto the minute time frame and see how that's looking. I mean, that looks like a little bit of a correction, and Bitcoin's already trying to push higher, so we'll see how that goes. 2 live streams in a row, yes sir. We got breakouts today. Ladies and gents, smash up those likes as you are coming in here today. We're at 150 viewers, I think, but I don't think it's updating properly. So I don't actually know how many of you guys are in here, but smash them up regardless. Great to see you all in here. Why am I moving about? It's because I'm on a treadmill. I'm on a walking treadmill, and it doesn't work, so it might stop immediately. I'm going to have to be aware of that. But 114.7. Yeah, just kind of hanging out. But like I said, you know, zooming out onto that 5-minute time frame, which, to be honest, we'll just put that over here for now on the left. So on the right-hand side, you got the real DGen cam, the 1-minute time frame. That's on the right-hand side. And then on the left-hand side, you got Bitcoin on the 5-minute. Bitcoin on the 5-minute. Hey, look at this. This chart pattern looks awfully familiar. Anybody recognize this? Let me know in the live chat. It's not recent. It's actually very old. But for me, this price action means something. James says, they took my 2 longs I got liquidated on and longed it right when I had to go to Costco. It's always like that, dude. It's always going to be like that, dude. Damn. F in the chat for James, ladies and gents. Are treadmill lives positive for the market? Has someone charted it recently? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Sammy in the house. What's up, dude? Welcome on into the live stream. Smash up those likes. We're closing in on 50. Let's get this thing up to 50 and then 100. You already know. Big breakout here. I mean, you know, if we compare the scale of this breakout... See, it grabbed liquidity down here. I'm not going to start it from down there, though. Let's just measure the whole thing. That's a 2% pump in, like, 2 fucking minutes. I mean, that's pretty cool. And it's also, like, yeah, that's basically the size of this entire rally. You know, that even got us here in the first place. This is pump season, ladies and gents. Let's take a look at ES1 and see if that sheds any light on this, because it could be S&P futures that is helping it. Yep, there we go. There we go. It's live. Futures are live, and they gapped up. Oh, and... Oh, it happened at the exact same time as Bitcoin. Of course. Of course it did. Look at that. If ever you needed more proof that Bitcoin literally just does what the S&P 500 does, if ever you needed more certainty of that, here you go. This is undeniable. Did any news precipitate this dump? Proceed? Is that what you meant to say? Yes, actually. I think it's this. I think it's this headline that we covered in the previous live stream here. Of US-China tee-up sweeping trade deal for Trump and Xi to finish. And it's just all about how they kind of got over their issues. In Malaysia, it seems like. I don't actually follow the news that closely. I prefer to keep my mental health in check. But, yeah, I think... I mean, look, this is what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the fact that, I mean, you can't make this up. Down to the exact minute. And by the way, somebody knew about this, right? Let's take a look at this. While I just have your attention, can I just point this out? The minute that the S&P 500 futures opened was the exact same minute that Bitcoin pumped. But, even more interesting than that, you know, since I'm the kind of guy that notices things, huh? That's the kind of guy I am. I like to notice things. Do we like to notice things, chat? Do we like it when we start noticing things? I like to notice things. And one of the things I've noticed here is that we're getting a very clear sideways range. And then in the few minutes leading up to this pump, in the few minutes leading up to this futures open, this is 33 minutes prior, you get a liquidity grab. So this move was hard-coded, ladies and gents. It's exactly actually what James said. James, you know, you made this comment casually, but I don't know how much you know about how this works. But since you made the comment, let's talk about it, and I'll continue on. I follow your idea, Sammy, to buy Litecoin already, plus 10%. Can you see this smile? It's enormous. You legend, dude. You legend. What's up, Delilah? Welcome to the live stream. Got to keep that mental health in check. Absolutely. It's important to not follow the news too much, I think. But here's something interesting. Right before the pump happens, we get that liquidity grab down. Now, this is guys like James who go along over here and they're like, you know, this was the support level. This was backed up by this support level. There's even this support down here. I'm going to be extra safe. I'm going to put my stop loss here. And then poor James or poor Sammy or whoever it is, because it's been all of us at some point in time, you end up getting stopped because the markets hate you and they're evil. It is actually true. It kind of is. It kind of does work like that a little bit. And you end up getting stopped. So that does mean that whatever, I mean, like, I don't know how much I could say without getting myself into trouble here. But if, you know, I mean, if you look at who pushed the market down here, I'm gonna leave it there. That's gonna give you some hints of who knew about this and so on. Anyway, let's move on. Please talk with some political opinions too. I don't know, dude. I don't know. And that's why you shouldn't use stop losses? Nah, that's not a reason to not use stop losses. That's bad luck, dude. I just count that up as... Well, there's actually another trading strategy for this. There's a specific trading strategy for this that, you know, if you're kind of well adapted to the market, you'd know about. We're going to talk about that inside of BroFi. Some of you might not know, but this link right here, right in the description, we are in pre-launch right now, early access. It is literally just $100. That's your early access price. And you're getting direct access to me. We've already launched it. We're already updating it. And you're not paying renewal fees until it's out of early access. Incredible results here from some of the things I've done in the past. Weekly lives. You're getting a course that's already having content updates right now. Really, really cool. Check it out. I won't talk too much about it right now, but that's linked right there in the description. You guys are going to love it. But yeah, right here, Bitcoin clearly pumping on the exact same minute as the futures opening, I think for a clear reason. So welcome on into the stream, everyone. Let's get these likes up to 100. That's easy. That's super close. Let's get these likes up to 100. I know we can do that, no problem. No sweat here. But yeah, a little bit of a breakout. We're just kind of consolidating sideways right now. So too is the S&P 500. So more than likely, the minute that the S&P 500 starts moving is the minute that Bitcoin, in all of its uniqueness, will probably start moving as well. That's what I think. So we'll just see how that goes here. In terms of a continuation. But it makes sense. You know, Bitcoin does need to play catch up at this point. You know, if we look at it on the 4-hour, and if we look at this on the 4-hour, the S&P, we're going to see something. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful. Look at that. Such a confident move up there. You know, and we'll see how this continues. I mean, these futures stay open for quite some time, you know, so we'll see how this develops here. But, you know, I mean, the S&P 500 in its own right, pretty much at all-time highs, right? I mean, this is all price discovery right here. But Bitcoin, you know, it still has some pretty important resistance levels it needs to overcome. So Bitcoin is still lagging behind. And let's not forget that. Because that's a fact. That is, I mean, it's just the reality of this market right now. That's what we're seeing. So I think we got to keep that in mind. And, you know, if Bitcoin does manage to get its way up to about 117, again, depending on what the S&P 500 does, that's going to be our kind of key level to watch next. If we're able to get a confident break above 117, which I don't think should be much of a problem for Bitcoin. I think that's going to be light work. Then we should be able to get a nice big leg up to 120. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I said that last time, and that is exactly what happened. It was pretty swift for that to take place. And then, of course, I also don't think any of these... Now, like I said in the previous stream, I have been saying this for a long time, and I have been wrong about this literally every single time, maybe with a couple of exceptions. So most of the time I've said this, I've been wrong. Where I said, if we break this all-time high, I think we're flying. And if we break this all-time high, I think we're flying, right? And I am saying it again, unironically, because I believe it more and more every time, okay? This kind of attitude has worked so well for me in the markets. You know, in fact, if you take this kind of attitude into the casino, and you have a generally good system, you'll probably make money. It's called martingale, where... well, I mean, this is the extreme version of my attitude, where you double down after every loss. You double your bet size after every loss. If you got a good system, you'll make money, you know, doing something like that. But it's really a case of how big your fucking balls and balance is. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are not going to be able to keep up with that heat, and I get it. That's not easy. But in any case, you know, what this attitude says is the price is being suppressed. And clearly it is, because, I mean, it's either being suppressed or it's weak, right? That's kind of like the two possible arguments here. By the way, ladies and gents, 14 likes away. Smash them up, ladies and gents, if you are finding the stream useful so far. I do really appreciate it. Thank you very much. One sec, guys. I need to... bear with here. Alright, we're back. Appreciate that. Volume has been reasonable, so I'd say suppressed. Yeah, I think it's pretty suppressed. And, you know, obviously, if you think it's not suppressed, then what I really want to know is what is your answer to the fact that there are so many releases right now. You know, so many announcements. Just now, today, wasn't it Zelle? The payment processing thing? Zelle in America saying that they're going to be using stable coins within their platform. Like crypto stable coins. We're breaking down apparently. Let's take a look. I'm not zoomed in enough to see that. Yeah, we are a little bit. Let's pull it up on this chart. On the right hand side, get the rect cam on, the degen cam. Really depends on the mood, doesn't it? Depends on the vibes as well a little bit. But yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it's just kind of hanging out, right? I mean, I don't think it's anything too crazy, you know, because the market just grabs liquidity, right? Like, I really want you guys to pay attention to how this drop happened. I mean, this is really a big deal, right? Like, the fact that the pump happened here, we're on the 5-minute time frame, by the way. This is, like, all shit that happened, like, in the last hour or so. And, you know, right before that big pump happens, we test the liquidity down here. So... And we've seen proof. I mean, it was down to the minute. I mean, I don't know if we can call it proof necessarily, but it's pretty convincing nonetheless. You know, how Bitcoin, on the exact minute that the S&P futures gapped up, Bitcoin started moving up. So Bitcoin is reaching parity with the S&P 500. I said it just in the last live stream. In fact, I say it in every video, but I said it much more clearly again in the last live stream, just to really make that point clear. We're not breaking down, ladies and gents. Don't worry, calm down. We're all right. Nothing's breaking down just yet. I mean, breaking down means getting back below 113.7. And even that, I'd say, all right, but we got support. You know, we got a couple other factors lining up for us. This is not particularly concerning. So I wouldn't even be worried about that. You know, and let me tell you why. I mean, let me just make this clear. This is where Bitcoin consolidated. So Bitcoin had a big move up. It was only because of the S&P 500. You guys don't keep this in mind, do you? I think you guys would be a lot more mentally at peace with the market if you just kept these facts in mind. You know, that Bitcoin only moved because of the S&P here. But, you know, since that happened, I mean, you know, it pumped quite a bit. From the bottom of this range to the top, this was a 2% move. And from the bottom of this wick to the top, this was a 2.3% move. This is still pretty healthy. This is still pretty healthy. Now, if Bitcoin comes anywhere down here, we're still good. You know, like, it can As far as I'm concerned, it can even reclaim this range. Because a bounce off support like this, something like this, it can very easily first spike down and then go up, right? Something a little bit like that. In fact, this can get low. This can look like this. This is Bitcoin that we are talking about at the end of the day. So, I just want you guys to understand what you're looking at as you look at it. You need these solid understandings going behind you when you enter these markets. You need them. Because if you don't have them, shit like this will stress you out. But we haven't even found support yet. So you're not breaking down until you've tested support and broken down below it. Otherwise, you're just in a vacuum. It's just a vacuum. And, you know, in crypto, those vacuums can be pretty large, right? In crypto, a vacuum can be 20%, 30%. Easy. But it's still a vacuum. You might not like the size of the percentage numbers. Okay, well, you're in crypto, bro. Are you with it or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not like it. That's besides the point. Once we get over the fact that you think the whole fucking world revolves around what you like or don't like, let's start talking about what's normal and what's expected in these markets. Alright? Once we're done talking about what trader A, B, and C don't like. It's normal to have big swings like this after a breakout. Especially, I mean, you know, you guys are not reading the chart if this is concerning you. Alright? We literally just grabbed liquidity down here before the move up. What do you think we're moving up for? We're moving up, we're moving up to grab liquidity, ladies and gents. That's all the market's doing. From one liquidity zone to another. That's it. That's all the market. And then the end result is that you end up in the middle. Getting slaughtered by it. Because you don't want to understand what's going on. You just want sensationalism and excitement. We don't do excitement. Nope. I don't do excitement. Not interested. Big liquidity at 105k. I mean, sure, we did just tap that liquidity, though, a couple times, didn't we? I think there's probably a lot of liquidity up ahead, being honest. And I don't think it's Bitcoin's choice, being more honest. Alright, because we got futures right here making a little bit of a push up. Obviously, Bitcoin gets hit a little bit harder than the S&P 500 on its futures, but definitely seems to be, you know, some sort of an explanation for as to why this is happening. Let's talk about why this is happening. So, top trade negotiators for the US and China said they came to terms on a range of contentious points. By the way, this article is very, very recent. Setting the table for leaders Trump and Xi Jinping to finalize a deal and ease trade tensions that have rattled global markets. They did this talk in Malaysia. They were covering topics like export controls, fentanyl, and shipping levies. Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary, speaking later in an interview with CBS News, said Trump's threat, this is important, Trump's threat of 100% tariffs on Chinese goods is effectively off the table. And he expected China, fucking journalists speak, fam, just type normally. He expected China to make substantial soybean purchases, as well as offer a deferral on sweeping rare earth controls. The US wouldn't change its export controls directed at China. I mean, it's just, again, it's like I said every single time, and this takes people by surprise every time. I don't know why you guys are like traders, you know, if you can't handle the smoke, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, or why you're even engaged in the markets if every time Trump says something stupid, you lose your mind. I mean, it's Trump. Did you hear of this man yesterday? You know, this dude's been kicking about for like 10 years now, stirring up a fuss everywhere he goes. That's just what he does. But clearly, it worked. So I would expect that the threat of the 100% tariff has gone away, as has the threat of the immediate imposition of the Chinese initiating a worldwide export control regime. He separately told ABC News that he believed China would delay its rare earth restrictions for a year while they re-examine it. It's basically a big dub for America. They don't seem to be doing particularly much, but they're getting a better deal. And it seems that it's been struck purely because Trump struck the fear of, I don't know, a king as a president doing tyrannical shit into the hearts of everybody. And now the pressure's off again. It's almost like he knows how to negotiate, isn't it, ladies and gents? It's almost like the 3-time president of the United States kind of knows something about how to negotiate. But I don't know, what would he know, innit? Winning an election's light work. What's up, ladies and gents? Smash those likes up. Let's get this thing above 150. We're seeing a little bit more of a continuation upward for the S&P 500. And Bitcoin is not following through. So we're going to have to wait to see how this thing might continue to charge higher above some of these kind of resistances. And if it is going to kind of get a bigger, more substantial move, I think that would be what probably sends Bitcoin. Or China's playing him? Sure, dude. They could be, but I mean, we can go further down in this article. I mean, you know, what they say is obviously off a script. Like, you can predict what they would say. But, you know, I mean, here. The current turbulences and twists and turns are ones that we do not wish to see, Li, who works for China, told reporters, adding that a stable China-US trade and economic relationship is good for both countries and for the rest of the world. So, obviously, he's going to say that. You know, but it's also 100% true, and it's not just China that feels that way. It's also America. It's beneficial for everybody. Trade is good. Trade is a very, very, very good thing. When you trade, you don't fight. Okay, this is how the world works. If you can get people exchanging goods and services and money and all that good stuff, they're not going to fight. So that's really, really important for us to be able to keep in mind here. Smash them up, ladies and gents. 15 away from 150. You absolute legends. Thank you all very, very much. But no, I think that's a great result, and I think that's why we're seeing a nice big move up here for the S&P 500 now that its futures have opened. I think that's why Bitcoin started to kind of match this pump already. I mean, if you watched our video from a couple of days ago on Friday, what you're going to know is we literally said right here on this channel that because the S&P 500 is looking pretty bullish and because the news headlines are gearing up to look pretty good, Bitcoin might just try and find parity with wherever the S&P 500 ends up on the Monday open. And we're only getting strong signs of evidence to support that idea. I mean, the weekend started where? The weekend started here, right? So this is Friday UTC close, Saturday midnight. This is where the weekend started. And obviously the financial market's probably closed like somewhere around here. I don't know. So, you know, the whole, let's just say it probably was around here. Let's be honest, because this is 3 p.m. UK time. And that sounds like it's probably close to like 8 p.m. UK time. Yeah, so around here. Yeah, my first guess was around correct, yeah. So, you know, the whole weekend, you know, because, like, Sunday's basically wrapping up now. You know, we've got the daily close in, like very soon, right? Yeah, the daily close is in 90 minutes, 9-0. So, you know, that's pretty close. So the whole weekend, we've just been kind of rising, trying to find agreement with wherever the S&P 500 ends up. This is what I said on Friday, but it's played out all throughout Saturday and Sunday now as well, which I think is incredible. Now, I don't really, you know, love the fact that Bitcoin isn't making good use of this, but that's not out of character, and it's not concerning either, because Bitcoin can play catch-up pretty quick, and it does play catch-up pretty quick. So, you know, until and unless significant levels are broken, and I'd say there's no significant level other than 107, As far as support, you could argue that this kind of range here, 113.6-ish, this kind of area is going to be an important level, and I think it is, but only short term. Only short term. So what happens to the CME gap? I mean, you know, this is the thing, innit? Like, I don't really pay much attention to the CME gaps ever. But I know a lot of people do, and it will leave a CME gap. You know, and if you think that means we got to come down and fill it in, then we will. Banana Republic says, why are we pumping? Just because the S&P's pumping, dude. Look at the S&P right here. It's on the 1 minute. S&P did it, so Bitcoin did it. Very, very simple. It's very, very simple. Jeff M says, Sammy is my hero. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, it is my absolute pleasure to tune into this Bitcoin price action with you guys again today. Bitcoin is trying to mount a little bit of an offensive here. Let's see what's going on with dominance quickly. Ah, dominance is dropping down. Let's not look at that for now. Let's just look at these two. This is the S&P 500 and this is Bitcoin. Not that we needed more proof, of course, that the correlation is very real, but we have it anyway. We do have it anyway. So that is absolutely sick. There we go, 114,500. S&P is also pushing beyond some of these wicks right there. Yep, it's already broken that. So let's see. We could get some fun candles coming in relatively soon. We could. We'll see how that holds up. And where are we watching from today, ladies and gents? Let me know in the live chat. I didn't get to ask you guys today. Where in the world are we watching from today? Would love to hear it. See who we got. We got Atlanta, France, Netherlands, Switzerland, Arizona, Malta, UK. We got Israel, Colorado, Pakistan, India. Lol, just kidding. London, Vancouver, Merca, Nigeria, California, Netherlands. What's up, guys? Welcome into the stream. Toronto, Sweden, Chicago. How's Chicago these days? Los Angeles, Malta. We got a few people from Malta. What's going on, Malta? Malta's a nice place. Malta kind of messes with my head, because you guys are like nearly Italian, but then you're like 4 or 5 other things at the same time, and it just confuses me. But Malta's a cool place. What's up, Dubai? Of course, Dubai. Australia, Serbia, Slovakia. We got Raphael on the moon. I like to hear it. I like to hear it. Raphael on the moon. Bitcoin is in a broadening top on the weekly. Broadening patterns, in my experience, are not super reliable. But yeah, I'm sure there's something there. What's up, Yemen? Norway, Indonesia. Yeah, you guys are just everybody in the world. Let me think of just a random country that probably no one's in. Costa Rica is a fun one. We got anyone in Costa Rica? We got anyone in Costa Rica? I'm thinking of that rapper. Some of you might know who I'm thinking of. Corsica. Isn't that France? The big French island. Texas. What's up? What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Let's push these likes up to 200 if we can. Appreciate it all. We got Lagos. What's up, Lagos? XRP and Dogecoin. Yeah, let's take a look at some altcoins here. So I'm going to keep Bitcoin on the right-hand side. That's $114,500 right now. But let's take a look at some alts. So let's look at XRP. XRP on the hourly is pretty good. It's looking pretty good. XRP against Bitcoin also looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. All right. That's cool. That's cool. Ethereum BTC moving up a little bit. That's cool. We got a request for Bonk. I haven't looked at Bonk in a long time. Let's take a look at that. 4 hour. Alright, we need the daily. Oh. I don't really know about this chart, bro. Yeah. DG says Bonkers wrecked, bro. I might have to press agree on that one. I'm not so sure about this one, Chief. I mean, obviously, all these coins can do very well if they get a revival, right? Sui. Yeah, let's take a quick look at Sui. I think Doge can break above the daily. I think Doge's success, like every single other coin in crypto, is entirely tied to Bitcoin. So my answer to that is yes. I think it can. Sui. All right, Sui. $2.40 support. I'm going to call it $2.37. We're at $2.66 right now. Yeah, so, I mean... honestly, it's the same, really. It's the same as Bitcoin, you know? I mean, I could tell you sweet tales of how different your coin is, because I know you'd love to hear it, wouldn't you? But, nope, it's the same. You know, I mean, if Bitcoin performs well, it's probably hitting some of these resistance levels up here. That's 40% away. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. 40% from the lows, I should add, not from current price. From current price, these resistance levels are still 23% away, so that's pretty cool. And then you got another resistance level up here about 57% away, and then the all-time high, and then you're off to the races, isn't it? You're just, you know, you're going for 20 or whatever it is. You know, it depends how much clickbait you're looking to get. But that's basically what it is. So, you know, I think that's looking good. I think it's probably going to rely a lot on what Bitcoin does. So that's going to be fun to check out. Am I from Bristol? Nope. Nope. I'm from London. Just from London. 50 points interest rate cut in 3 days? Really? Is that what we're thinking? What do we think about interest rate cuts in this live stream, ladies and gents? Also, I think I've got a few of you guys here that weren't here in the last stream. So I got to ask you guys. Because I really want to start trading stocks. I really want to start talking about stocks on this channel. How do we feel about that? In the live chat, yes or no? Just type it in the live chat. Type a yes or type a no. And then hit enter. You want some stocks analysis? And basically what I'm thinking is every time crypto becomes shit or frustrating, I want to switch over to stocks. And every time crypto is more interesting, I'll default to crypto. That's what I was thinking. What do we think about that? We got like it's the same as the last live stream. The last live stream result was 65% yes. Yeah, I'll run a poll. But last time it was 65% yes. So I was like, you know what? I think you'll all be happy because, you know, stocks analysis regularly. All right, I've started that poll. Go ahead and vote on that poll. I prefer crypto, but overall I like the analysis. Yeah, I just think it's a little bit more interesting, right? When, you know, when crypto's not doing anything. We've got a request for Solana. Let's look at Solana. I'm going to look at the Sol BTC chart first. It's the only important one. And it's just doing the same thing. It just looks so beautiful. It's going to potentially, I think it's going to have a really big breakout. I think it's going to have a silly, massive breakout. I think it's going to look a little bit silly. That's what I think. I think it's looking pretty damn nice. Yup. I like the look of Sol BTC. I mean, it's just hanging out, innit? There's nothing really to say about it right now. But I like it, you know? I mean, yeah. It's looking pretty decent there. And then Solana against the dollar. Against the dollar, it looks so strong. Against the dollar, it looks like a stronger version of Ethereum. Because Ethereum looks very similar to this too. I think it looks really good against the dollar. I mean, it's basically broken all of its resistance levels and it's bounced off a really strong level of support again. And it doesn't have much resistance up ahead. It's kind of the same as Bitcoin. Really. Realistically. Closing in on 200 likes, ladies and gents. Thank you all very much. You legends. Really appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Apparently Zcash is doing something. Is that what you're saying? Let's take a look at Zcash. Oh, shit. Yes, it is. But how recent is this? It looks pretty recent. Yeah, like... oh, okay. Okay. A few hours ago. Yeah. Yeah, Zcash still looking pretty decent. I'm actually interested in XMR. I think XMR is potentially quite interesting. There's a lot to this, but, you know, very briefly, you know, it's basically got, I mean, you know, it's got quite an incredible chart. I don't know how much time is left on this, or if it will pump at all. I really can't see the future. But, you know, 8 years in the game, sometimes things just look really obvious, and this is one of those times for me. I've actually elaborated on this quite a bit inside of BroFi, and you can find that right here in the description. So go ahead and get yourself inside if you haven't already. It's $100 to join. It's $100 a month. But we're in early access right now, so you're not getting charged for renewals. And you're getting a direct chat with me. We're active in that chat, answering questions, all that good stuff. Really, really cool. We've had incredible results in the past. But this is kind of the best iteration of something I've ever run, which I'm really excited for. We've got some really cool things up and coming. And we're already starting off with weekly lives where I'm kind of outlining trade setups and things like that I'm interested in. So pretty cool shit. Pretty cool shit. Check it out. Got a fun video for you right here. I think a lot of you are going to find this one interesting. That is linked in the description down below. Right there. Any idea about KDA, Tau, ENA? Haven't heard of any of these coins. I've heard of Tau, but really not things that I typically look at, so I wouldn't be able to say, and I bet you the charts probably don't say too much other than that they're in the same position as Bitcoin and so on. Ban Usuri Worldwide says, I want to know why you said you failed at day trading. Do you think if you tried harder and longer, you'd be successful? I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, I think that applies to like every style of trader, right? I think that any trader that is unsuccessful, that kind of keeps at it, will eventually, you know, make a lot of money, right? But it's a case of like, how long does your sanity take you, and how much money do you have to lose? You know, it's a pretty important one too, which I don't really think people consider. You know, but like, how long can you even stay in the game for? Why'd I fail as a day trader? Honestly, you know, so I think there was two big things. I think the first big thing was when you're day trading, you're trading against bots. So that's really important for us to keep in mind, because if your opposition are bots and you're a technical analyst, meaning that you're analyzing the numbers to some degree, right? You might be analyzing shapes and squiggly lines, but they're still numbers. You cannot analyze and reason better and faster than a bot on those time frames as a human. I mean, I say that. Obviously, some people can. I'm not one of them. I tend to do pretty well on these live streams, to be fair. I have actually been pretty impressive on these live streams. Just calling what's going to happen on super small time frames. But I think that's aura. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just because I'm, you know, like, we're carrying aura on these streams. I think in reality, you know, when you're putting money behind your trades, it's a different game. You know, so I think the first thing was it was just really hard to trade against those bots. And what we need to understand about this is that these bots rule these small time frames, right? And it depends on how much liquidity there is in the market. Because when there's no liquidity in the market at all, and you're in like a crypto winter, then those bots will rule time frames up to 1 hour, up to 4 hours. Do you know what I'm saying? But in a market a little bit more normal, like right now, these bots will be, you know, working at their best, kind of controlling the markets at, you know, the 5-minute time frames, the 10-minute, you know, 15, 1 minute, you know, these kind of time frames, which is, you know, which is what you want. I mean, ideally you want none of it, right? But, you know, at least have it self-contained to the very small time frames. So, you know, the reason those bots can do that is because on these very small time frames, look, realistically, Bitcoin's open for trading 24/7. But a lot of the time, nothing is actually going on. Right? Like, not only there's no, like, particularly interesting price action that would make other people want to do something, but there's also no, like, news or, you know, developments in tech. You know, like, there is a lot of dead time. And in a market that's as unregulated as crypto, that dead time now gets exploited by bots that create artificial movements. And those movements are basically the same things as these liquidity hunts. I mean, if you're day trading, remember, we're on the 1 minute time frame right now. If you're day trading, this is what you're trading up against. You're essentially saying, the market fell down to support. It's a little bit below support, so this looks good. I'll go long. And then no matter how deep your stop loss, to be fair, it's only 0.4%. But, you know, I mean, analyzing it on this time frame, you got two reasonable stops, right? One's going to be right here, and then one's going to be like right here, beyond this candle, right? But you don't really have a reason to to put your stop way down here. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, you're almost trading like a 1-to-1 risk to reward. You know, like, you're going to lose about as much as you're going to make. Which, you know, over time is not very mathematically smart to do. So, you know, when you're in these kind of situations, that's where these bots come in and they just fuck your day up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just absolutely just wreck you just for the fun of it. And that's what you're up against as a human. You know, and the thing about these moves, I'm not even joking. The thing about these moves is that milliseconds prior to them, if you've got the right algorithm to detect the patterns, you will know that this drop is coming and you'll pile on with it to make that drop even more extreme because you know that you're stopping traders out. Right? You know that you're stopping traders out. And so because of that, if you push the market lower, whoever is in on that information, which is, you know, the kind of thing that, again, you don't really get to have unless, you know, you have access to this complex software, you know, you're gonna, I mean, if you're in that position, you're gonna really exploit it and make money. But if you're the human trader, you're up against it. So I think that's number one. That's the first main reason. And then the second main reason that I wasn't able to day trade successfully, despite how many times I tried, and I really tried a lot, it was difficult, man. Emotionally, psychologically, that shit's not easy. You know, like sitting in front of the screen all day as well, because your whole life is just anticipation. Imagine like watching a movie or listening to like an EDM song, you know, and the whole fucking like 8-hour session of this movie or song is just a build-up of anticipation. It's actually quite terrible. Like, it's actually really bad for your mind, you know? And I hated my life, and I hated everything about it. I hated that I had to wake up and, you know, I'd go to take a piss, and then I'd fucking open up TradingView, and that's it. I'm 2 hours awake. You know, I hated that that's what my life was. I was like, this is not what I signed. I was like, I signed up to become a trader so I can drive fast cars and, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I can like have like cool shit, you know, and a nice life. But I didn't sign up so that I can, you know, like literally have TradingView open in bed. You know, I'd be sleeping on my side looking at TradingView like a pleb. Like a pleb. I didn't want that. That's not what I signed up for. All right, we got a little bit of a move up here for Bitcoin. $114,700 as we speak right now. Let's pull up ES futures. S&P 500 futures. See what that's saying over here on the left. Okay, nothing. So it is just Bitcoin kind of, you know, showing up about 20 minutes late, which is very much, you know, within Bitcoin standard character as well. I want to see, I'm at 2 kilometers again. That's like, I think that's like 5-6 kilometers just live streaming today. Isn't that amazing? That's what happens with a walking pad. I'm telling you guys, if you have a home office, if you're lucky enough to be able to work from home, get a walking pad under your desk. I don't even care how much it costs you. You will literally never need to like worry about at least your like base cardio fitness ever again. Your base. Leo Swipe says the weekly candle's looking good. Let's take a look at that. Bitcoin is still pushing higher. So that's very, very fun as well. Let's look at this on the weekly. Oh man, this chart is too messy. I don't know. I think it's time to delete these lines as well. Let's go. There we go. There we go. I just had to. We have an hour left on this weekly candle. What I would love to see, since it's so close, I'm being a little bit cheeky right now, but we might be able to do it. We're already pushing right here. What I would love to see is if Bitcoin can get above the open of last week's candle. And that means Bitcoin should rise above $115,067. Basically 115k flat. If Bitcoin can get above that level and close above that level in the next hour, because we did get above that level. Our wick did take us above. But if we can really get that close slightly higher, I mean, you got a bullish engulfing candle right there. You know, I mean, that's... I really think we're about to make a lot of money. I mean, you know, I've been saying this a lot, you know, driving myself half insane. Especially with everyone else being so bearish. But I really think we're about to make a lot of money. I just feel it. Everybody's so depressed. For what? Because crypto disappointed them. As if that's a reason for crypto to not go up. Because crypto is disappointing so far in this market cycle. Honestly, I think so many people just literally must think that the world, and therefore the markets, revolves around them and their feelings. And they get so swept up in this, like, entitlement, or whatever it is, that... you know, the whole market must crash now. Because they didn't make money. Nah, dude, I think the market looks pretty healthy. I think the market looks really healthy. And I cannot wait for this 4-year cycle nonsense to be disproven. The shock you guys are going to have on your face. I mean, I might be wrong about this. I shouldn't be so arrogant, but... I really do not have any respect or love for that 4-year cycle theory. I really don't. I just don't think that it's a legitimate argument. And I made a whole 11-minute response to it inside of BroFi VIP. Again, that's that link right here. Inside of that channel, when you join, you're getting, you know, like I said, insights into specific trades I'm looking at. And a bunch of other updates. Lots more coming soon as well. But one of the updates I did specifically was an 11-minute specific deep dive on why I don't believe in the 4-year cycle theory. So check that out. 114k, 114.7. Hanging out. Ranging sideways. Getting ready for the next order from Bogdanov to pump or dump. You already know, ladies and gents. Who here remembers Bogdanov? Let me know in the live chat. That weird looking meme dude. Or dudette, I don't even know. It was weird. It's properly weird. Bogdanov was a G. Pump it. Exactly. There we go. Yeah, we are continuing on up here for Bitcoin a little bit. All those cycles did not have regulation or legislation. Now we have institutional FOMO. We still don't have a ton of regulation or legislation, dude. But, sure. Someone says, who is Bogdanov? Dude, search him up. It's just like a meme, innit, from back in the day. It was this evil guy that would, like, as soon as, yeah, as Hajim says, like, as soon as you enter along, there's just this meme that he'd make a phone call and tell the guy to dump the market. And then if you sell, he would tell the guy to pump the market. Very funny. Very funny. But, yeah, pretty sweet. Pretty sweet move up here. I like it. I like it. And we're not looking too bad on the daily either. Kirill, do I know you? I don't know you. I don't think I know you. I don't recognize the last name. I was like, are you the same guy? Bitcoin advisor, the White House says market structure bill will pass before end of year, meaning Binance will lose a lot of manipulation power. Interesting. I hope it works if it's real. Tommy says, you're a great guy. You're a great guy. Glad I found the channel. You're very welcome, sir. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you think I'm a great guy. I appreciate it. You're a great guy too yourself, Tommy. So, yeah, it looks like Bitcoin's just kind of hanging out, doing what it needs to do to get back above some of those resistance levels up ahead. Kirill says, no, but I've watched your videos and streamed several times. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And welcome back to another one. Can I take a look at Bcash? Yeah, let's take a look at Bcash just for entertainment, innit? Take a look at Bcash. BCH. I know they love it when people call it Bcash, don't they? Heard that from somebody a long time ago. I love it when people call it Bcash. You ever see a Bcash holder? Just ask them about it, innit? How's Bcash going for you, mate? Is this a second stream? Yes, sir, it is. This is the second time we're alive in a few hours. Yup. Yeah, Bcash looks like it might be ready to break out if it can get above some of these resistance levels, but this is the weekly chart, so it's honestly not a great chart. I don't really want to look at Bcash much. I don't like this coin. But, yeah, there's nothing else I can really say here. It's up against resistance. Hopefully it breaks it. If it does break it, it's probably a very big breakout. It's probably like going like 4x minimum, I think. Oh, Solana's just hit $200. Did that just happen? No. Oh, it kind of did just happen. Okay. Interesting. Alright, guys, honestly, I might just call it here. Go live again if something happens. How about that? Are we okay with that? 55% want stock analysis? Wow, that's kind of crazy. I thought it would be more than that. Why do you guys not want stock analysis? I'm going to do it anyway, but I thought it would be interesting to ask. But, 45, basically nearly half are not interested in stocks. Hey, I get it. I get it. And crypto will stay the focus. Crypto will stay the focus no matter what. But, hey, sometimes there's nothing going on in crypto, you know? And it'd be nice to be able to kind of roll up my sleeves and kind of cover some stock stuff with you guys too. Because I'm trading them. Stocks take a long time to reach targets. I get it. I get it. I get it. That's why, it's like I said, stocks will be what keeps me entertained in between crypto. You know what I'm saying? Bitcoin Atlas says, just do your thing and I'll watch you, but I'm not interested because I can't trade them. I get it, yeah. I couldn't trade them for a long time as well. It's just hard, like, jurisdiction-wise. In the UK, you got shit options, man. People on trading 212 and shit like that. Oh, come on, man. You know, you gotta go to some scam fucking broker. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. I've seen how those people work, those brokerages. I'm sure there's some that are fantastic, but what I've seen, I was like, yeah, this industry's... Crypto industries at least have, like, some level of, like... You know, the crypto industry will literally, like... you know, harass you to the end of Earth. You know what I mean? Like, there's something that makes people kind of, like... You know, watch themselves, or at least, like... tactically scam. But, like... Traditional brokers, fam, will just shut you down with no fucks, you know, to give about it. Yeah, I agree with the Tesla take. I think Tesla's great. Yeah, here's Bitcoin continuing on. 115K right here. That is very, very cool. Very good to see. That is very, very good to see. It's still trying at this level here. Fantastic. So I guess what we'll do is we'll just put let's put the S&P futures back on actually. Yeah, it looks like this thing's trying to, I don't know, it looks like it's itching. I mean, we're on the 5-minute time frame, so let's not get too crazy with it, but they're definitely trying to pull something off. can't hear your music, or is it out? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I don't have music on right now, but on that note, that's a great idea. I think I will put some music in. First of all, I got to figure out if these AirPods are frying my brain, because apparently that's the new thing now, isn't it, to worry about. 114.8. Just hanging out. What am I dancing to? Nah, dude, I'm on a treadmill. I'm on a treadmill, dude. No dancing here. So what are we thinking, guys? Are we... Like, how many of us... Let's make a new poll here. How many of us believe in the 4-year cycle theory? I wanna run another poll real quick. We've got 50-50 here, basically. Half of you guys don't really want stocks. I get it. I get it. I want to start another league. I've only been in... I mean, for me, I would still say if the market topped and entered a real bear market from, like, even March next year, I would still say that the 4-year cycle held true. I would. Which I know is a lot of tolerance, but it's like I said, I have a lot of tolerance because I understand how these crypto markets work. This is a fairly aggressive drop down here for Bitcoin. More stocks during the bear market. Now we're just pumped for coins. Don't really understand that comment, dude. Jerome says, I believe this is the last 4-year cycle, or more like this is a half-ass cycle, which is why the bull run has been so soft, but definitely all traces of a 4-year cycle going forward will disappear. Interesting. I hear a lot of people saying they think it's the last one, and I'm like, well, if you think it's going to end, then why don't you think it's going to end now? That's what I want to know. And I'm genuinely curious. Finishing the right shoulder of what? Like an inverse header or something? I don't even know, dude. I forgot which patterns the children use these days, you know? Everyone's always using something new. Something fancy. I forgot which one, dude. The 4-year cycle is valid until it's not. I mean, yeah, I agree with that take more than any of the others, I think. I still don't agree at all, because I never thought that the 4-year cycle was particularly real. I never did. But, I mean, the evidence is there. It's clearly been largely true the whole time. Can I show P&L? Well, dude, I haven't been trading very much this year. Sorry to disappoint. The markets have been somewhat hostile. I think maybe a couple of you may have noticed. So it's been more kind of spot positions and stuff like that. But I'm up quite well, actually. I'm quite happy with it. I think I've done pretty well this cycle. But I think the real gains are still yet to come. I think, you know, we haven't really seen much yet, personally. Am I dancing or on a bike? I'm on a treadmill. I'm on a treadmill, Silverback. I'm on a treadmill. Have I looked at USDT dominance lately? No, I haven't. Let's take a look at that. USDT.D. Let's take a look at USDT dominance. Let's see how many. 2.75 kilometers. Hey, that's not bad. 2.75 kilometers. People really think I'm tweaking that bad? I guess, yeah, like if I saw this, I'd be like, what the hell is he doing? Why is he rocking like that? I get it. I get it. Nobody really watches people on treadmills, do they? It's a very unnatural way to see somebody. But, okay, we got USDT dominance here, but it's on the wrong chart, so I'm going to put it on the left-hand side. Oh, what am I doing? USDT.D. And enter. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like it's going down. Oh, but it's at resistance. Let's go on the weekly. Okay, so... yeah, it looks like it's potentially got a long way to drop, huh? But this is probably because of inflation that we're seeing the market cap increase. So, I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. I said cycle? What do you mean I said cycle? I don't know what you mean. BTC.D looks like it's rolling over. Oh, wow. There's a little bit of a dump right there for Bitcoin. Let's see if we can put the S&P back on. Where's the S&P? Probably this one right here. Nothing's going on. And Bitcoin dominance. A little bit of chatter about a Bitcoin dominance now. I mean, it's definitely in a kind of bearish pattern. But, you know, within this bearish pattern, I think it's held on quite well. Definitely is losing some ground today. Yeah, I said I did earlier this. I said I did well this cycle, yeah, but the difference is I think this cycle, I mean, the difference between what you think and what I think is that you think the cycle is over in the next couple of months. I think the cycle could run, you know, quite far into at least like Q2, Q3, 2026. I think most of 20, you know, like, I can't say most of 2026, but I think 2026 overall will be a bullish year. I do. I don't see it. It's America's 250th birthday. And we've got... curious what you traded this cycle? Dude, I'm putting all the information about what I'm doing right here inside of BroFi. It's linked at the top of the description right here. Check it out. We are directly talking with members right here in the group chat and all that good stuff, sharing the alpha that we have. I've got my trusted guys in here, so it's kind of like an insider group right now. Really, really cool. It's probably gonna stay that way. So I might hit 5 kilometers today. Hell yeah, dude! I'll go for it. I mean, I'm close to 5 km right now. I probably already passed it because I didn't see what my what I did last time I walked, like when I finished. But I think I hit like 3, maybe 3 point something. So yeah, because this is 70 minutes on now. So yeah, check this out. This is linked in the description. You're on early access pricing right now. The prices will be going up in the next days and weeks. They will be going up, but you're going to be price locked, so you won't have to worry about that. Super cool stuff. So check it out right here. It's only 100 to join. You guys are going to love it. I'll go to sleep, guys. Bye. Take it easy, dude. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. Barry says we've had 3 4-year cycles. Definitely nothing infallible, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you know, you got a strong point there. It has happened consistently for a long time. I mean, and I think that's why so many people believe in it, right? If that wasn't there, then it would, you know, there'd be basically no legs left to stand on it, you know, for that. But again, you know, it's causality. We're not looking at causality. I think the only because if I like my next question, right, is if you do think that we're kind of seeing the end of this cycle very soon, then that means you think we're going to be bearish when we have a mass inflationary event again because interest rates are coming down, and with all the ETFs and the fact that it's like fully gone mainstream. Guys, I don't think we're deeping this. I don't think we're understanding how serious this is. I mean, Zelle, just in like the last, I don't know, like 10 hours or whatever, 12 hours, announced that they are going to be using crypto, stablecoins, Zelle. You guys in America know what Zelle is. I mean, Chase, JP Morgan, whatever, they said that they're taking crypto as collateral for loans. This was like yesterday or like 2 days ago. They're taking crypto as collateral for loans. And then meanwhile, I get on YouTube or I get on Twitter and everybody thinks the market is crashing. You know, or if not, it's just this like very depressed, muted atmosphere where people are clearly inside of these sideways ranges. They are clearly selling their bags, if not lightly, then very strongly, but they are selling into the hands of more patient bag holders. I just don't say, like, if you think the 4-year cycle is true, then you think that during all of these upcoming things that should be affecting the market probably pretty well, in addition to literally just inflation carrying us anyway, because we don't need more than that. There are big problems, right? Because they didn't fix the budget deficit issues, the spending. They didn't fix that. They made it worse with the big, beautiful bill. So there are really big problems. And if you're like, you know, everybody, like, we're going into depression, if you're that guy, you know, and there's going to be like a 20-year fucking bear market, you know, and houses are going to be worth like 20 grand again, if you're that guy, then, yeah, I mean, you know, it's going to be hard to you know, reason with that. But, you know, if you're a little bit more moderate than that, then I don't know. I mean, you know, we don't really have the setup for the 4-year cycle to hold up this time. So I never really believed in it. I always thought it was, honestly, just coincidences. Honestly. But I've heard it's true in the stock market too. Let me check that right now. I've heard it's true in the stock market as well. I don't know if that's true. I don't think it's true. But let's find out together. Alright, this was a peak. 4 years on, December 2025. That's not looking good, is it? And then 2016, December. Okay, so probably this peak. Well, that doesn't really count, does it? Because like 4 years prior to this, actually, to be fair, my bad, it's 2017. I'm not counting. Well, there's definitely no issue for the S&P 500 here. This is 4 years prior. 4 years prior to that. Then we're looking at 13. Nope, it doesn't work. It's not true in the stock. People just chat shit, fam. This guy was just talking about it on Twitter. Every 4 years, the stock market... No, it fucking doesn't, mate. But I'm not surprised that you didn't share the data. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously he's not going to show the data, is he? But clearly, yeah, there is no 4-year cycle here. There's probably like an 8-year or something else. But not a 4-year. It's just a crypto guy's pipe dream, man. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And I'm looking at the profile. I don't know you guys that are saying it, but I know people in my life that are saying it. You know, that the 4-year cycle is real. These are the most bitter people in this bull market, dude. These are the people that fucked everything up. They just want everything to crash because they didn't make money. It's quite normal, actually. I've been that guy too. You probably have as well. I'm sure all of us have had our moment, you know? But we got 63% of the chat thinking that 2026 will be bullish. So that's interesting. That is definitely interesting. Alright guys, I'm probably going to be calling it here on this live stream. This is our second live stream of the day. We've been live for about an hour and 15. I'm gonna be heading off from here at this point here. But I will be back if there's any volatility. So if we see something else, we'll be live again immediately. And until then, I'll see you. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you're hitting up those likes. BroFi is at the cheapest level it's ever going to be in its history or future. So get inside now. I'll be right there with you on the other side of that get started button. Only $100 to join. Nice and easy. And we are covering proven concepts that I have applied to thousands of people over the years with a lot of success. Some failures. Not everybody's cut out for it. But with a lot of success, and it has gone beautifully. And because it's early access, you're not paying renewal fees. So super, super cool stuff. You're also going to get access to the Trading Journal app when that's ready inside of this, which is really exciting. That's an AI trading journal that I'm personally developing. Really excited for that. Super, super cool. So check it out. We've already posted some exclusive kind of information on some of the trade setups I'm looking at. And we'll continue to update that in real time as well. That's where all of it lives, right here. No, it's $100 a month, but you're not being charged for renewals right now until we're out of early access. So yeah, it's pretty good value. I mean, it's gonna be 500 in the future. We're gonna get up to 500. We're gonna be increasing. I think like as everything releases. You know, so you guys that join right now, you're gonna be in for 100. But for example, when the first course is ready, we'll probably jump that up to like 200. When the second course is ready, it'll be like 300. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna be increasing it as we drop more. But if you get in now, you get that price lock for a year. So that's really cool. All right. Thank you all very much for tuning in. And we'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.